Time to wake up, wifey. Happy New Year! I know we have a baby now, but Happy New Year. Really hard to see, but there are literally fireworks going off everywhere. Those are fireworks. That ain't lightning, do you hear it? Pow, pow. I'm going back inside now. It's cold. I'm back! Guys, I made it back to YouTube. I can't even believe it. It's been like almost 7 years. That was a longer break than I thought I would take, to be honest. It's not that I hated YouTube or anything like that, but I just want to take some time to actually live my life, go build some businesses, get married, which I did, and she's awesome. She's like infinitely better than me. It's crazy. Start a family. Your boy's a daddy now. I'm a daddy now. Just a lot of stuff has happened. But really what it was is I felt like I was just diving into YouTube and just getting into it, but I wasn't actually doing practical things in my life to bring back and be more valuable to people who are really trying to maximize their life, like be the more significant versions of themselves and level up and become all that they can be. So I said halt on the video thing and let me just go take a couple years and let's go crush life. So we've had a chance to travel all over the place, start businesses that are thriving and doing really well. Our marriage is doing well, so we invest in that a lot. And now I feel like I'm kind of in this place where I can come back and just be a little bit more consistent, authentic, and share with other people who are trying to go on their journey of whether it's business or just marriage or life or whatever, how to become significant and how to become the best that you can be, the only you that you can be, which is you, and only you can be you. Write that down. So I'm gonna come back with some consistent content, probably like once a week or something like that. And yeah, these are just gonna be reflections. I'm not really trying to blow up and be famous. Don't really care about that. I just wanna have a place where I could put the stuff I'm learning, pass it on to you, hopefully help you level up and do all the things that you wanna do in your life because your life and your goals really matter. So since the ball just dropped and 2025 just kicked off, it makes a ton of sense to just start with maximizing in the year. Well, let's talk about 5 things you can do to maximize 2025. If you're like most people, you started 2024 off and you were like, man, I'm gonna crush it. I'm gonna kill this thing. Man, let's get it. You hear that? Hey, this is gonna be the year. You see these rolls? They're gonna roll off me this year. I'm gonna go lose that weight. Whatever your goals were, you had them. And some of them you accomplished, some of them you got close, and some of them you just... These are all good things, and they're all things you can use to accomplish your goals. Number 1, set less goals. I know, sounds counterintuitive, but think about it. At the beginning of the year, everyone's like, I'm gonna do all these things. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go there. And they set this really long list of goals, and it can become literally overwhelming. Not only overwhelming, your mind literally can't focus on all those things at one time. So the way that I like to apply this to my business, my life, my marriage, is just to say, hey, what are the 1 or 2 things that I can accomplish in this area that if I accomplished it this year would totally be awesome? And I just set my goals around the top priorities of the year, understanding that if I hit those and miss everything else, hey, it was still a really good year. I've learned to try not to base success on a year based on how many goals I hit versus how many meaningful goals did I hit. Big difference. Big difference. Most people just running around busy, trying to get some stuff done. Versus when you begin to become intentional with your life, whether that's business, life, marriage, weight, whatever it is, you actually focus on a few things and you really hammer those things in. There's some really good books on habits and stuff like that that you could probably, glean from. Number 2 goes right off the back of the first one. That's prioritize. Now that you have your goals in these areas, now prioritize them in order of importance. If you're saying yes to some things, you have to say no to some things. What goals can I definitely not go without hitting? What goals would I be happy if I hit it, but not too bummed out if I didn't? And what goals are like, whatever, who cares? If I hit it, that's cool, but like, whatever. I'm not even gonna remotely prioritize that. A big reason people don't hit their goals is because they take these little tiny, like meaningless, tiny little arbitrary goals and they put them at the top of their list. You put an arbitrary thing on the top of your list. What did you expect? Not all goals are weighted equally. It's okay to say no. I release you to say no. Number 3, cut the fluff. Now that I know my big goals and I know the priorities, now I have to look back and say, what fluff do I need to cut out of my life? Or what things do I need to add to my life? The easiest way to do this is to go back to the last year and say, hey, what are some goals that I really hit and I did well, and why did I hit them? What habits helped me hit them? What relationships helped me hit them? How did I prioritize my time in a way that helped me hit them? And you can get those clues for success and you can put them in your tool belt and start to put them into play in the next season. Now that's not every time, that's a whole nother video, but there are some habits that translate. Then you can go back and look to all the things that you didn't do that well. Why didn't I do it that well? What habits kept me from doing that? What relationships kept me from doing that? Now you can take those clues for failure, which are equally as important, by the way, and you can start to plan to not repeat that. Say no to the binge watching. I know that's your favorite TV show. I know all of your friends watch the show, but all of your friends are also not hitting their goals. I just lost a couple subscribers off that one. By the way, thank you to the 468 subscribers that still stuck around with me, even though I was dormant for 7 years. You are awesome. You are incredible. To all the people that unsubscribed, I'm just kidding. You're fine too. I don't care. My worth is not in how many subscribers I have. Okay, number 4, 10x your thinking. You actually find out what you really need to do when it comes to your goals if you magnify what you could probably get done. For example, let's say your goal was to make $100,000 in your business this year. Great, that's a good goal. Nothing wrong with that goal. Now all you have to do is think about, what do I need to do to get there? What habits do I need to put in place? How can I organize my time and my schedule? What are my priorities? What are not my priorities? Stuff like that. But now let's say you're like, you know what? What if my goal became to make $1 million in my business this year? Now the question is, what habits do I put in place? What relationships do I prioritize? What type of content do I put in my brain? How do I take care of my health to optimize my mental capacity? When you 10x your goal, it actually becomes a lot clearer what you need to do to create success. Sometimes people set really small goals that don't actually create enough clarity around the habits they really need to become successful. But when you 10x your goal and magnify it, now it really becomes apparent, this gap. You can become very clear around the habits, the cadence, the things that you need to do, and again, the priorities you need to have so that you can accomplish that goal. And a cool plus side is if you set a 10x goal, more than likely you're gonna pass that little goal you had at the beginning because you're really gonna have to optimize to figure this out. And number 5, who do you want to make proud? It's really easy to give up on yourself when it's just you. You can give up on yourself, but can you give up on your kids? Can you give up on your future kids? Maybe your future spouse. Maybe it's your mom. Maybe it's communities that really need you. If you have a faith background, maybe it's God. I always ask myself that question, what can I do with my life to glorify God? What do you want to be able to say to that person? What do you want that person to be able to say about you? In my darkest days, when I was worried about, is my business gonna take off, or is my marriage gonna get better, or will I ever lose this weight? It wasn't me and me alone that helped pull me through. It was thinking about how I wanted to make my wife proud. It was thinking about how I wanted to make my son proud. All the people that have poured into me, I wanted to make them proud. Ultimately, I want to make God proud with my time and the things I'm doing with my life. It's okay to have a dark day. You're gonna have that. But knowing who you want to make proud can help pull you through so that you can say, hey, no matter what I feel, bang. Let's get it. So that's it. Those are 5 practical ways you can maximize a year or really any time frame. But if this was helpful for you, feel free to share it with somebody that's trying to learn how to goal set or maximize a year or whatever it might be. And if it was valuable to you and you want some more and you want to hear all the other stupid stuff I have to say, then feel free to subscribe. And trust me, there will be plenty of stupid stuff coming out of my mouth in this year. It's going to be amazing. I'm like actually really looking forward to it. I'm just going to open my mouth and say stuff. That's it. Happy New Year. Those are fireworks. See you soon.